Hi there, welcome on behalf of Astro Matrix. I'm here today to talk to you about the new moon coming up on the 16th of October in Libra. And before I do dive into that, I'd just like to announce that I am in the Philippines, I'm on the ocean, I'm up against monsoon season, so if I don't make this video, there will be no videos. The rain will continue. I also want to mention that if you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so that you get all our regular updates. Alright, so let's dive straight in. So this is an intense new moon. It's a super new moon, and the super means that it's closest to the Earth. It's also quite unusual because we have three lunations happening this month. So the first one was a full moon, which happened on the 1st in Aries. The second one is this new moon on the 16th. And the third one is a full moon again on the 31st of October in Taurus. And that is a blue moon. So very strong feminine lunation energies playing up around this month. So the moon in Libra is all about finding balance and harmony. It's really exploring where it is that we're out of sync in our lives and seeing how we can restructure and change things around to bring more streamlined, smooth efficiency into our lives. So it has a lot to do with the other because Libra does rule relationships. So there is a possibility that for some of you it may bring up themes around relationships for you. You know, where is it? Because we have the new moon, which is the sun and the moon together in Libra. This is what creates a new moon. And it's in a loose opposition to Mars, which is in retrograde in Aries, in a conjunction with Eris, the planet of strife and discord. So there's a strong theme there about individuality and asserting myself, what are my needs. But there's also a lot of confusion and possibly even exhaustion happening at the moment with this Mars going retrograde. So during this full moon, because it is a super moon and because it is so close to the Earth, we may be feeling exhausted but also frustrated, especially in relationships, especially because it's in an opposition, a light opposition to this Mars energy, which is very much about self. So it's very useful to explore where it is, possibly if it is about relationships for you, that you can bring more harmony and balance into your relationships. It's really exploring, you know, am I projecting old wounds, old relationship traumas into my relationships, and is there a way that I can now find fairness and balance and start letting this go? So alongside that, if it's not about relationships, it's really about exploring your dynamics with everybody and how it is that you either give too much of yourself or you're not giving enough of yourself, and where you can come back to your core more and really start honoring and meeting you and finding a balance within your life so things can flow better. So we have this super moon, super new moon, which is very close to the Earth. We also have Mars coming up to its midpoint, which will be its closest to the Earth as well. And then near the end of the month with the Mercury Retrograde, which I do talk about in another video if you are interested in learning more about the Mercury Retrograde. This is in an opposition throughout the month to Uranus. So at some point Uranus is also at its closest to the Earth. So there's very strong energies happening up because this is almost like a T-square. We have Mars, we have the Sun and the Moon in Libra, and then we have the square on both of these angles to Saturn, Jupiter and Pluto, which are all in Capricorn. So the Saturn, Jupiter and Pluto on a personal level can encourage change, transformation. It can ask you to consider where you're needing to be more efficient with your energy, with where you are moving in your world. It's really calling you to transform and get clear with responsibility and what is most efficient and important that for you that brings balance and harmony. So now on a global level, we have some strong themes that are playing out here. As I mentioned, the first theme is the Mars which is in retrograde, in a conjunction with Eris, the planet of strife and discord, and Black Moon Lilith, which is the raw, primal, untamed feminine power. And all three of these energies are in and out of a square to the dynamic of Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter in Capricorn, which represents the falling of the old ways into the new ways. It's kind of the transformation that's happening within the systems where there's corruption of power, where the individuals do not have their rights. And this is very much the theme that is playing out for some time now. It's our individual rights, Aries, independence, assertion, autonomy, but also alongside Eris, not feeling like I have a right or a voice, because that Eris is in Aries, and this is in a square to Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, which is the corruption of powers that may be the top-down heavy organizations that are, not allowing the individual their voices, their rights. So there's this very strong theme that is playing out on a global level. And then alongside that, we also have the Mercury, which will be going retrograde in Scorpio on the 13th, and will come into a very exact opposition to Uranus, which is in Taurus, and very much about liberation and freedom and power and breakthrough. And so because it is in Taurus, we may experience some seismic energies, because, Uranus is also about shock and disruption. And especially because it's in opposition to Mercury, which is our mental faculty, our reasoning, our minds, our thought processes, and how we communicate. And it's in Scorpio, we may experience secrets being revealed and information, shocking possibly even, information coming out. So, it can also be a period of really intense events, such as protests, shocking events that happen around the planet in response to these very tense energies that are happening between Mars, the individual, and the corporations and the governments and all of those corrupt powers that we're up against. So New Moon is also a beginning, a new beginning. It's a period where we plant the seeds for what it is that we want to manifest in the upcoming full moon, and if not in that full moon, 6 months later for the next moon in Libra. And it's, they don't always manifest immediately, but it is about setting intentions. And so it's very useful during this period, especially because it's in Libra. And Libra has a very beautiful way of accessing meditational energies to really slow down and allow yourself the time and space to reflect on what it is in your life that needs balance and change, and how it is that you can come into a more harmonious cooperation with those around you, as well as within your own life. So what I like to do at the end of each reading is a tarot spread which explores the themes of the full moon coming up. So I've got 6 questions that I'm going to be asking, and I will be picking the cards for them. So while I'm talking to you, I'm just going to tune into the cards. This is for the new supermoon on the 16th of October in Libra, and we're going to be asking questions on behalf of the collective. So hopefully these questions can just bring some clarity into your life. And if you are interested in asking these questions for yourself on a more personal level, they are available on the Astro Matrix app. I also want to encourage you to revert to the Astro Matrix app and find out where this new moon is taking place in your chart, as well as the Mercury Retrograde. It'll give you a very strong sense of the themes that are playing out for you for this new moon, as well as for the rest of the month. So I also want to mention that the Libra new moon, it's happening at 23 degrees, which is a cardinal sign, and much of the tension and the intensity of what has been playing out this year has been at the later end of the cardinal sign. So it seems to be a very reoccurring theme. So any planets that you have between 20 and 30 degrees of the cardinal signs, which is Capricorn, Libra, Aries, and Cancer, will be impacted. Alright, so let's dive straight in. So the first question that I'm asking is, how can I bring more balance into my life? So we're going to pick the first card. The next question is, how can I honor my feminine energies more? And I ask this question because the moon in Libra is a very feminine energy. It's ruled by air. And Mars, which is in an opposition, is in Aries, which is very masculine. So this period may also allow us to start examining these masculine and feminine energies within ourselves more. You know, how can I bring more spaciousness and holding into my life, as opposed to the masculine way, which is more about action and initiation. So finding a balance between those two. So the question was, how can I honor my feminine energies more? The third question is, how can I honor my masculine energies more? The next question is, how can I honor myself and my needs more? How can I create more harmony in my relationships? And what imbalances am I currently facing? What imbalances am I currently facing? Alright, so let's see. So the first question is, and by the way, we have the Death card over here at the bottom of the pack, which reflects the theme of the reading. And the Death card is all about very intense transformation. And so I really do feel that this is an opportunity to really go through big changes within your life, really bringing more balance and harmony and direction, especially for those of you that have been feeling confused and directionless during this period. Really capitalize on this new moon, go into meditation, especially because we are experiencing this new moon in Libra. Alright, so how can I bring more balance into my life? And we have the Seven of Wands, and it's talking about, the Seven of Wands is generally about perseverance, but it's also about taking a stand against things that are either not serving you anymore or are needing change. So and I feel that this is very much about how it is that we bring more balance into our lives. We know where those changes are. We know what it is that we need to do. And so it's making a decision to do it. It's taking a stand on where it is that we need that balance to happen. So if it's in relationships where we're giving too much, it's starting to become clear with finding boundaries and healthy exchange of give and take, or walking away from the relationship if it's not serving. The next question is, how can I honor my feminine energies more? And we have a very beautiful card. It's the Nine of Pentacles. And it's talking about abundance in the garden, in nature, connecting to abundance, connecting to sensuality, and really starting to enjoy your senses and the things that give you pleasure. It's the Nine of Pentacles, so it's very much a card of independence. And it's the exclusivity of connecting to the feminine within, which at this point is not about the masculine or needing the masculine. So this can apply to you if you're a man or a woman. It's not about gender. We all have feminine within us. And what the card is suggesting is exploring sensuality and just taking time out and being in nature and connecting to those things that allow you to feel connected and rooted and grounded and connected to your senses and your sensuality. So the next question is, how can I honor my masculine energies more? And we have the Ace of Pentacles here. So I feel like this is a personal response that I cannot decide for you, but I can reflect to you what it does mean. So the Ace of Pentacles talks about new financial opportunities, or possibly even new financial projects, or even new abundance coming your way. And with regards to the masculine, I would say it's about becoming aware of what these opportunities or possibilities are that are coming your way, and following through with them. So the masculine is about action. It's about taking action. So if there are plans that you have around sustaining yourself financially or creating more abundance in your life through taking action, then follow through with that. Listen to what's coming in what's coming in at this period, and following through with that. So this is beautiful about where the masculine and feminine can work together, because taking that time out to connect to earth and nature and ground yourself and connect to your passion and your sensuality allows you to channel direction for where next if it is not clear for you. And sometimes the way forward is not about pushing forward, but taking time out to allow that clarity to come through. So that's how we find the balance. And once that clarity comes through, it is about taking action. So the fourth question is, how can I honor myself and my needs more? And it's really talking about creating structure and discipline in your life where it's needed. So it's not, if there's too much structure and discipline in your life and too much routine, it's softening that a little bit. But if there's not enough, it's asking yourself, where can I have more of a routine? Where can I bring more consistency into my life? And how can I create structure and routine that allows me to achieve what would allow me to honor myself and my needs more? Because the more that we can follow through with projects or exercises that we set out to, or intentions that we set out to, we're honoring ourselves, we're honoring what we know is good for us. So the next question is, how can I create more harmony in my relationships? And it's an interesting card because it's the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords talks about two things. The first one is acknowledging that tension that exists within you, and that is possibly about what you keep playing out in relationships. So becoming aware of what it is possibly that you may be projecting into relationships that have to do with old unconscious beliefs or childhood fears, or old relationship distractions that have happened in the past, which you keep projecting into relationships in the present moment. The other interpretation of this card is recognizing when something has reached a stalemate, recognizing when something is not serving you, recognizing when something is not about give and take, and if it is not possible to bring harmony and fairness into this connection, it's about recognizing that it's a stalemate and it's time to let it go and walk away from it, because not everybody is for us. The people that are for us are the people that bring harmony and balance into our relationships. And so the last one is, what imbalances am I currently facing? And so this is an interesting card because we have the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is a card of so the person has one hand on the wand and the other hand is holding the globe, and they're looking out over the horizon. And it's very much about being here in the moment, but needing something else out there. So if there's a part of your being that is wanting something else out there, it's finding a balance with that, where you can come back to this moment and start getting comfortable with what is here, and this being enough, not needing that as well. Because right now, so there's two aspects of this. The one part could be talking about, is there a possibility that you could bring more planning and more reflection on where it is that you can expand into in your life? And then the other consideration is, where is it that I'm attaching myself to wish-fulfilled thinking and unrealistic needs or desires, simply because I'm not able to be present here in this moment with myself in my situation that I'm in. So just to give you an idea, I got stuck in lockdown in the Philippines, and I'd say for the first 5 months I was not here. I was needing to leave. I wanted to be somewhere else, and it just wasn't happening. It was impossible, and I was in a lot of discomfort the whole time until something shifted and I was able to ground myself and be here. And since that shift happened, there's been much more peace and balance and harmony in my life. And that's ultimately what the Libra theme is about. It's like if you have unrealistic or unhealthy expectations about where you want to be or what else is out there, as opposed to really allowing yourself to be here now in balance and harmony, you will suffer. And this new moon is very much about coming back to balance and harmony and finding your power. So I hope that shed some light, and I hope that you will share your comments on what you perceive to be going on in your life and where you feel you will be impacted by this new moon that's coming up. We always love to hear your comments, so do share. And once again, please like and subscribe to our channel. And lastly, we've got waves coming in here, and I really hope it hasn't been a disturbance and that this video has been clear. So if you're interested as well, as I mentioned, we will be talking about the full moon on the 31st of October. This is the full moon in Taurus. If you want to find out more about that, like and subscribe to our channel, ring the bell, and you'll get a notification. And then lastly, as I mentioned, we've also created a video for the Mercury Retrograde, which is really worth watching and having the awareness of what's going to be playing out, as it's quite intense. So I wish you all the best with this profound and intense month, and I hope that it enriches your life and brings the lessons needed along with radical transformation. Thank you. Bye for now.